Are you struggling with debt? Feeling overwhelmed by the amount you owe? It's a common scenario that many people find themselves in, and it can seem like a mountain too high to climb, but don't despair. There are answers out there and solutions to help you overcome this challenge. Welcome to this guide on debt management. Debt. It's a four-letter word that carries a heavy weight for many of us. From credit cards to student loans, mortgages to car payments, it can seem like a never-ending cycle. But the good news is, there are ways to manage it effectively and even eliminate it altogether. This video will serve as a step-by-step guide to help you navigate the murky waters of debt and arm you with the tools you need to pay it down quickly. So, take a deep breath. It's time to stop being afraid of the mailbox and start taking proactive steps towards a debt-free life. Let's dive into the process and take control of your financial future. Firstly, take a deep breath and let's understand the situation. Just like any journey, the road to financial freedom begins with understanding where you are, and that means gaining a clear picture of your debt. You see, debt isn't merely about owing money, it's a complex web of numbers from interest rates to minimum payments that can feel overwhelming if not understood correctly. Imagine you're a detective solving a mystery. Your debt is the case you need to crack. Start by gathering all the information. This includes the total amount you owe, the respective interest rates, and the minimum payments. Don't leave any stone unturned. Dig into your credit card statements, loan documents, and any other financial obligations. Why is this important, you ask? Well, knowledge is power. By understanding the ins and outs of your debt, you gain the control necessary to tackle it effectively. It's like knowing your opponent before a big game. The more you know about them, the better your game plan. Now let's talk about interest rates. These pesky percentages can make your debt grow while you're trying to pay it down. It's like trying to empty a bathtub with the tap still running. That's why it's crucial to know how much interest you're being charged. This will help you prioritize which debts to pay off first in the long run. And what about minimum payments? These are the least amounts you need to pay to keep your accounts in good standing. But beware, only paying the minimum can extend the life of your debt, causing you to pay more in interest over time. So strive to pay more than the minimum whenever possible. The key takeaway here is awareness. It's about being completely aware of your financial situation before starting to pay down debt. This doesn't mean it won't be challenging or that the numbers won't seem intimidating at first. But remember, understanding is the first step towards conquering. Now, armed with your debt information, we can move on to the next step. Now, it's time to create a budget. Budgeting is essentially the backbone of financial success, and it's particularly crucial when you're tackling debt. A well-crafted budget is like a roadmap, guiding you towards your financial goals, and in this case, towards a debt-free status. Creating a realistic budget requires a clear understanding of your income and expenses. Start by listing all your sources of income, whether it's your salary, freelance gigs, or any other income streams. Next, note down all your expenses, and this means every single one of them, from your rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, to your morning latte. Having a clear picture of where your money is going can be an eye-opening experience. You might discover that you're spending more than necessary on non-essential items. This is not to say that you should cut out all enjoyment from your life, but it's about making adjustments that can help you free up some extra funds to put towards your debt. It's also important to remember that a budget is not a one-time thing. It's a living, breathing entity that needs to be reviewed and adjusted regularly. As your financial situation changes, so too should your budget. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, sticking to the budget. It's easy to create a budget, but sticking to it, that's the real challenge. It requires discipline and commitment. But don't worry, it gets easier with time. And remember, every dollar you save is a dollar you can use to pay down your debt. Consider using budgeting tools or apps to help you track your spending and stay on top of your budget. They can provide visual insights into your spending habits and help you identify areas where you can cut back. In conclusion, creating a budget is a significant step towards paying down your debt. It helps you understand your spending habits, make necessary adjustments, and most importantly, it gives you control over your money. With your budget in hand, you're one step closer to becoming debt-free. Next, let's prioritize your debts. This step is vital because it helps you focus your resources where they're needed most. There are two popular methods for tackling this: the snowball method and the avalanche method. The snowball method involves paying off your smallest debts first, while making minimum payments on your larger ones. Imagine a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and bigger. This method works the same way. As you pay off each small debt, you free up more money to put towards the next one, creating momentum. This method can be a great morale booster, as you get to see debts disappearing from your list quickly. However, it might not be the fastest or the cheapest way to clear your debts if you have larger, high-interest debts waiting in the wings. On the other hand, the avalanche method focuses on paying off your highest interest debts first, while making minimum payments on the rest. Think of it like an avalanche, bringing down the biggest threats first. This method saves you the most money in the long run as you're tackling the debts that are growing the fastest, but it requires patience, as it can take longer to see progress. So, how do you choose between the snowball and avalanche methods? It really comes down to what motivates you. If you're driven by quick wins and need to see progress to stay motivated, then the snowball method might be your best bet. But if you're more interested in saving money in the long run, and you can stay the course without needing those early victories, then the avalanche method is likely a better fit. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to prioritizing debts. Your circumstances are unique, and what works for one person might not work for another. The key is to choose a method that aligns with your financial situation and your personal motivation style. By prioritizing your debts, you can create a clear plan of action. And with a plan in place, you can tackle your debt head-on and start working towards a future of financial freedom. Now let's talk about making extra payments. Extra payments, no matter how small, can make a huge difference in your debt repayment plan. They cut down the total interest you'll have to pay and shorten the time it takes to clear your debt. It's like an express ticket on a train ride to financial freedom. But where do you find this extra money? It may seem challenging, especially when you're already on a tight budget. Don't worry, it's not about making drastic changes. It's more about being smart with your finances and finding opportunities within your existing budget. First, consider your discretionary spending. These are costs not essential for living, like dining out, subscriptions, and shopping for non-essentials. By reducing these expenses, you can redirect the money saved towards your debt. Remember, every dollar counts. Next, look at your monthly bills. Are there any services you could downgrade or even cancel? Perhaps you don't need that premium cable package or the gym membership that's gathering dust. Again, the money saved can go directly towards your debt. Another strategy is to use any unexpected income. Got a tax refund? A bonus at work? Instead of spending it, put it towards your debt. It might not be as exciting as a shopping spree, but the satisfaction of seeing your debt decrease will be worth it. Consider a side hustle if your time allows. It could be freelancing, selling items online, or even dog walking. The extra income can make a significant difference in paying off your debt faster. Lastly, make sure to apply these extra payments to the right places. Focus on the debt with the highest interest rate first. This is known as the avalanche method, and it's designed to save you the most money over time. Remember, the essence of making extra payments is to speed up your debt repayment process. It might require some sacrifices, but it's all about taking small, manageable steps towards your goal. Making extra payments can significantly speed up your journey to becoming debt-free. Let's recap what we've discussed. We began by understanding the importance of managing our debts, a vital step in gaining control over our financial lives. Next, we explored the need to truly understand our debt, diving deep into the specifics of what we owe and to whom. We then discussed the value of creating a budget, a roadmap that guides us in managing our finances effectively. This tool not only helps us monitor our spending, but also assists us in allocating resources to pay down our debts. Our conversation then shifted to prioritizing our debts. By focusing on the most urgent debts first, we can alleviate the financial pressure bit by bit. And lastly, we emphasized the impact of making extra payments, a strategy that can significantly fast-track our journey to being debt-free. Now, it's time to put these steps into action. Start today, because every day counts when it comes to your financial health. Remember, every step you take towards paying down your debt is a step towards financial freedom. You've got this.